You tell yourself you want connection, that you're craving closeness, intimacy, love. But sometimes what you're really searching for is a way out. Not out of life itself, but out of the weight you're carrying inside it. You want the rush of being wanted, because it feels like oxygen. You want someone's eyes on you, because it pulls you out of your own head. You want the distraction, and you mistake it for love. Let me explain. When we feel lost, disconnected, or lonely, our nervous system starts looking for relief. And in this state, another person can feel like the cure, not because they're the right person, but because they're an escape hatch. Think about it. Have you ever met someone and fallen into them too fast, before you even knew their depths? It wasn't connection. It was relief. You weren't falling for them. You were falling away from yourself. Real connection requires presence. Escape requires speed. One shows you down into honesty, the other speeds you up into illusion. You might tell yourself, I feel so alive when I'm with them. But what you're really feeling is the contrast between your emptiness before and the hit of dopamine they just gave you. It's like being thirsty for days and someone hands you a glass of wine. It feels good in the moment, but it's not actually hydrating you. I'll give you some examples. You start texting someone non-stop the week you met them. You're not building trust. You're avoiding the quiet where your own thoughts live. You get into deep talks at 3 a.m. with someone you barely know. It feels intimate, but really, it's intensity built on novelty, not shared history. You rush into physical closeness before emotional safety exists. It's not your fault. Your body is chasing comfort in the fastest way it knows. So why we confuse the two? Many of us grew up without safe, steady connection. So when we finally feel attention, it lights up every part of us that's been starving. And here's the trap. Attention feels like love when you've been deprived of it, even if it's not real. This is why some relationships feels magical in the beginning, then hollow later. You weren't connecting. You were escaping. And once the novelty wears off, you're left with the same emptiness you were running from. You can take this guidance. The first step is brutal honesty. Ask yourself, do I want this person, or do I just want a way out? Before you pour your energy into someone new, sit with your own silence. Notice what you're feeling before they step into the room. If the feeling is anxiety, boredom, or numbness, you're vulnerable to mistaking escape for connection. When you meet someone, slow the pace. Instead of rushing into constant messaging, allow space between interactions. See how your body reacts to the pauses. Do you start panicking? Do you feel the urge to chase? That's not connection. That's withdrawal. Some practical steps. First, pause before pursuit. Ask, if they disappeared tomorrow, what part of me would break? If the answer is the part that feels empty without the tension, you're chasing escape. Second, check the foundation. Does this person know your actual fears, your real self, or just the version you curated in the first rush? Third, test it with stillness. Spend time together without simulation. No alcohol, no parties, no constant activity. Just a quiet room and conversation. If it feels awkward or unbearable, there's no real connection yet. How can you rewire the pattern? If you recognize yourself here, it doesn't mean you can't find love. It means you have to start building it from the ground up. Connection is slow. It grows in the space between highs. It's built on trust, not adrenaline. And yes, the slow pace can feel uncomfortable at first because you're used to the rush. But the rush fades. And if there's nothing underneath it, you'll fall right back into loneliness. So here's the truth you might not want to hear. You can't escape your emptiness through someone else. You can only bring it with you, or face it before you try to share yourself. When you stop looking for a person to save you and start looking for someone to meet you, that's when connection begins. And you know it's real, because it won't feel like a rescue. It'll feel like home.